Playing at Hokage. Count me out, it's a fool's game.
To be Hokage! That is my dream!
Sounds to me you've changed, Tsunade.
Episode 90 isn't just about Tsunade rejecting the Hokage title. It's about what happens when hope and cynicism go to war. This is the moment the will of fire, long extinguished, starts to flicker again. And the person who relights it isn't a hero or a genius. It's a fool with a dream. By this point, Tsunade isn't a hero anymore. She's a shell of one. She drinks, she gambles, and she calls herself a sucker because deep down she believes in nothing. When Orochimaru offered to bring back her loved ones in the last episode, she lost all will to fight and essentially became paralyzed. That wasn't cowardice, that was a physical reaction of someone relieving grief they've never processed. Every frame of that moment is telling us that Tsunade, the woman once called invincible, is still bleeding inside. And it's that emotional wound that makes episode 90 hit so differently, because now she's being asked to reignite the very thing that defines Konoha, the will of fire, via the role of Hokage, and she can't. Not because she is incapable though, but because in her eyes, every Hokage died chasing a dream that always ends in a funeral. Before we get to Tsunade and Jiraiya reuniting, there's some important context that you need to see. We're shown Tsunade fantasizing about Dan and Nawaki when Tsunade attempts to bring her back to reality.
Think of your brother and my uncle. They wouldn't have wanted any part of this. This isn't what they lived for. It would be a betrayal of them, a betrayal of yourself. Have you forgotten all your dreams?
Tsunade doesn't take very kindly to Shizune's advice though.
Shut up, Shizune!
Before Orochimaru and Kabuto leave, Kabuto tells Tsunade that 2 bodies are required for the jutsu. Shizune, as locked in as ever, reaches for her weapon and yells to Tsunade to attack before glancing over and seeing her lifeless husk. That's when Orochimaru bites his finger and we see something you wouldn't expect from a renowned medic. When Tsunade sees the blood, she grabs her necklace and starts shaking uncontrollably, meaning she's a healer with
hemophobia.
With that, Orochimaru and Kabuto make their exit, which leads into Jiraiya and Naruto fighting Tsunade later that night. We pick up with Jiraiya offering Tsunade the Hokage position, Naruto sitting right there, confused out of his mind, and Tsunade, although shocked, doesn't say anything. After some talk and a game of cards, she eventually says,
Impossible. I decline.
The way she says it, like she's turning down an invitation to dinner, or, according to Jiraiya, like she's turning down his request for a date, is what really sells it. There's no passion, no anger, just a quiet disgust. Naruto is pissed that Tsunade is being offered the Hokage position, and even more pissed that she declined it. Jiraiya was impressed though, because he knows she can't decline. We then find out from Jiraiya that Tsunade is an extremely powerful warrior and an even more capable healer, and
She is the granddaughter of the very first Hokage. So in heritage and abilities, she is the clear and only choice to be the 5th Hokage.
interestingly enough, the manga actually teases that revelation by having Hashirama as the cover art. Anyway, now that Jiraiya has finished citing Tsunade's qualifications to Naruto, Tsunade surprisingly doesn't acknowledge them at all. She instead flames Naruto for his incompetence. Jiraiya attempts to defend Naruto by saying the 4th Hokage was a goat of goats, dare I say, the Billy Goat. That's when the entire tone of the episode is shifted.
Oh sure, but all that didn't save him from dying young. Throwing his life away, all for the sake of the village? Money's one thing, a life's another. To risk your life against all the odds? That's a sucker's bet.
Now obviously, Naruto didn't like any of that, but Tsunade didn't stop there. She continued on to talk down on her grandfather and his brother. She didn't spare Hiruzen either. The insult to injury is that she's smiling while saying it all. Tsunade concludes her speech with,
Playing at Hokage. Count me out, it's a fool's game.
That's when Naruto explodes, slamming the table, yelling that she has no right to insult the 3rd or 4th Hokage. And what's wild is that Kishimoto lets it play out like a family argument. Jiraiya doesn't interfere and Shizune doesn't stop him, because this isn't just a tantrum, it's philosophy versus experience. Naruto believes in dreams. Tsunade believes dreams only get people killed. And that difference right there is why they clash so violently. Tsunade stands up, calm as ever, and says,
Let's take this outside, kid.
Naruto doesn't even hesitate. because that's just who he is. And honestly, if someone talked to me like that, then hit me with a smug look like this, nah, I'm going outside too. Anyway, what happens next might look like comedy, but is actually one of the most symbolic moments in the entire Search for Tsunade arc.
One finger. It's all I'm gonna need to take you down.
She says she only needs one finger to defeat Naruto. One, and then proceeds to literally send Naruto flying with a flick to the forehead. That's not a fight, it's humiliation. It's the weight of a legend reminding the next generation who's in charge. But the thing about Naruto is that he doesn't stay down. That's when it hits you. This fight isn't about strength, it's about conviction. Tsunade represents the strength of control, Naruto represents the strength of belief. And this finger flick becomes a metaphor for what Tsunade's been doing emotionally, flicking away her own hope every time it gets too close to hurting again. After Naruto gets back up, she asks him why he cares so much about the title of Hokage, and that's when Naruto says the line that completely disarms her.
It's because unlike you, that's my goal. To be Hokage, that is my dream!
It's such a simple line, but it shatters her completely, because that's exactly what Nawaki, her little brother, and Dan, her beloved, said to her, who both died before they could make it happen. You can almost see it in her eyes, the sudden mix of shock, disbelief, and pain. It's like she's seeing a ghost, and Kishimoto knows that, because the way the camera lingers on her face shows that she's not angry anymore. It displays grief trying to become something else. Tsunade's hatred of the Hokage title wasn't about politics or power, it was about what it cost her. Every person she ever loved who carried that dream died for it. But now, in front of her is a boy, too stubborn to let that dream die. That's when the shift begins. Naruto doesn't lecture her, he doesn't quote some moral code, he just exists. Defiant, bruised, and still talking about hope like it's something you can touch. And that's what starts to heal her. The irony is, the very foolishness she mocks is the one thing she needed all along. Seeing that Tsunade let her guard down, Naruto decides to attempt the Rasengan. When Naruto forms the Rasengan, it's not just a jutsu, it's a declaration. A contained storm, spinning endlessly, powered only by will. He's showing her, not telling her, that faith can be controlled, that chaos can be channeled into something beautiful. The Rasengan is literally the physical manifestation of what she's lost, balance between power and purpose. And Jiraiya, standing there quietly, knows it. The look he gives says everything. He doesn't see Naruto just trying to fight Tsunade. He sees Minato's legacy, the will of fire, and maybe even a little hope for Tsunade too. Meanwhile, Tsunade's entire composure cracks for the first time. That orb in Naruto's hand isn't just a light, it's memory. The boy she lost, the man she loved, the dream she buried, all swirling together in one glowing reminder that she's still alive, and she can still believe. Tsunade doesn't say it out loud, but this is where her heart starts to move again. She called the Hokage title a fool's job, but now she's realizing that maybe the world needs fools, because only fools believe in something after losing everything. Naruto isn't powerful yet, nor is he wise, but he's everything Tsunade stopped being. Hopeful, relentless, and pure. And through him, she finally sees what the Hokage dream was always meant to be. Not a title of power, but a promise of faith. The episode doesn't end with Tsunade's redemption, but it plants the seeds for it. The same way Naruto's Rasengan spirals infinitely, her heart starts to spin again too. It's not about being strong enough to fight Orochimaru, it's about being brave enough to believe again. Episode 90 is one of those moments that reminds you why Naruto works so well as a story. It's not about ninjas fighting. It's about people finding the courage to feel again. Tsunade's not healed by power or logic or destiny. She's healed by a fool who refuses to stop believing. And that's what makes her story so human. When she looked at Naruto, she didn't just see a reckless kid. She saw a mirror of the two people she held most dear. The will of fire, it wasn't passed down that night, but it was reborn. So the next time you watch this episode, remember, Tsunade didn't just see a brat challenging her, she saw the embodiment of every reason she ever had to keep going. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like, hype, and subscribe if you haven't already, so we can grow our Shinobi Alliance. Deuces.